Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. We have a bunch of new knives from Civivi and Sencut. The last time I opened up something from Civivi Sencut, after a bunch of stuff that was not impressive, I actually found some really impressive stuff. So I have high hopes. I'm always excited to look at new Civivi and Sencut stuff. I know they have it in them to really knock it out of the park, and I'm hoping that we find something here in this group. This video is just a first impressions. It is not a review, so that'll come down the road. But I will link all of this stuff down in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to. Thanks to Civivi Sencut for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. I'm going to start with this. I know we have some fixed blades. We're going to start with this guy here. We'll check out the price in just a moment. I just want to get this out and take a look. I just want to talk to him. That wasn't really have anything to do with the what we're doing here. Just that's what popped into my head. The ingot in blue aluminum and D2. Okay, I like the aluminum Sencuts. I think they're neat. This appears to be like a medium compact size little button lock. Actually feels really nice. I'm gonna be real happy to find out that they want, like, 40 to 45 for this. That's about what I'd expect. We have tested so many Sencut, Civivi, and button locks. So many. We have established that they can make a good button lock. So many of them, in fact, all. I don't think I've ever disengaged a Sencut, Civivi, or button lock. They have proven to be about as reliable as it gets for a plunge lock. So we know that they make a good one. And even with this being the button lock or the plunge lock being a weaker locking system in general, Civivi just knows how to do it. So that's one of those things. You might pay a little bit more for a Civivi, and not so much the Sencut. You might pay a little bit of a premium, but they do a really nice job, and their locks hold up. This is nice. I mean, the Sencut knives are pretty basic. I do like that they are moving, not completely away from, but it looks like that they're at least including some D2 steel in their line. Obviously, we want to see this tested by Taylor. Personally, I prefer to see D2 at 60 plus, kind of like M390. So I don't know what Sencut's heat treating their D2 to, but I personally would prefer D2 over 9CR18 MOV, which was their best friend in the whole world for a very long time. So the aluminum's nice. The pocket clip is nice. Very simple, very straightforward, but it just feels a little, it feels more classy. It's got that Civivi classiness. Let's, I'm saying it's a Sencut, but it feels like that Civivi classiness, right? Let's take a look and see what they want for it. So this releases, by the way, I guess on May 27th. I don't know if you're seeing this on May 27th. MSRP, we can ignore that. This is exactly what I wanted to see, about 45 bucks. Yes, there are competitors out there making, similar knives for about 10 bucks less. But it does feel nice. This is a nice feeling knife, right? It might not be anything new or anything special, but for people who are on a budget and just wanting to get something nice that's, straightforward and utilitarian, I think that this is a good option. That's great. That's about what I expect from Sencut. Really rarely does Sencut miss their mark. They know who they are. They know where they should be priced, and that's pretty much it. They don't venture too far beyond the beaten path, but they do a good job. Okay, so we have some interesting stuff here. We have what looks to be about the most straightforward fixed blade I've ever seen in my life. This is the Jencks, designed by George Mulestein and Thomas Knives. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm not coming down on it for having this look either. Generally, a simple design for a fixed blade often yields the best results. I think this is going to be one that I like. I think this is going to be one that I like a lot. Oh my goodness, that is just about it. That is so perfect. Oh my gosh, exactly. So the SE line of fixed blades has all of their small stuff. Like the Azula 2 is really good. But all their smaller stuff almost feels too small. All of their big stuff, a lot of their big stuff feels a little bit too big. I've gotten close with a lot of blade to handle ratios. Holy moly, that is a really, what a perfect little fixed blade. I have been carrying, yes, I used my teeth, okay? Back off. Sometimes I use my teeth, all right? Do as I say, not as I do. My kid's always like, Dad used his teeth to open that. Well, don't do what I do. Really nice. And then we have that, the little, I guess this is a molly clip, some variation of molly clip. I don't know. I'm not super well educated on all the clip stuff, because I typically want to carry. The only thing that would make this more perfect for me is if it was in like a leather sheath that had a clip on it. And that's what I've been carrying. I've been EDCing a fixed blade, the little one from Lynch. That's it's really tiny, but it's in like a leather pouch, and in the leather pouch itself has a clip on it, and I love that. But this aside, like if you like to carry your knives on your belt or whatever, then like you're gonna love this. But the knife itself is absolutely ideal. It is absolutely ideal. This is an incredibly versatile, unless you need length, right? If you're gonna like baton with your fixed blade, but like an outdoor, like simple working fixed blade. Absolutely wonderful. And look at the geometry. A full flat grind. Nice and thin. Oh, how beautiful. This is so perfect. What is the steel on this? Let's get this out. Please don't be crazy. Please be like $50. Like that's really all it needs to be. 14C28N. So this actually is still within like spec. It looks super low. Personally though, because of the nature of 14C28N, like one of the biggest attributes, actually the biggest attribute of 14C28N is its ability to, maintain toughness even at higher HRC. So pushing it up, I would say to at least 58 or 59 is probably better, but this is still okay. And it is a fixed blade. Maybe you're going to be a little rougher on it, but we can get it up there at 59 plus, and 14C28N will take a beating and still be pretty easy to sharpen. What do they want for this? Well, a little high there, I'm going to be honest with you, a little high here. MSRP, we can ignore that, but your 67.75 feels a little high. 50 to 55 bucks is where this should be. Little high on the price. Can't deny that I absolutely love I love the blade profile. It's very simple. Like there's nothing special about the handle profile and the blade profile. It's about as straightforward as it gets, but it works. It's such a roomy handle. Such a beautifully roomy handle. Yeah, it's a freaking laser beam. Straight in. Straight in, no draw, pull, just straight. Easy. What a beast. What a slicing beast. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. Okay. Two pretty good knives. This one's fine in price. This one's a little overboard. What else do we got here? I'm going to save that one for last because it looks a little wild. Okay. This is the Clingman. What has happened to my opening assistant? There we go. The Clingman. Okay. So, it is a little wooden boy. All right. That's fine. Straightforward. We have a San Mai, actually. Civivi's, this San Mai is gorgeous looking. Actual core, probably 9CR, 10CR combination, meaning it's like a VG10 San Mai, because the 10CR that Civivi uses is going to be the Chinese equivalent to the Japanese VG10, which is a very popular core steel for San Mai. So this will not just look pretty, it will perform well. But it does look very, very nice. Now, I have a feeling Civivi's wanting to charge close to $100 for this, which I will not love. It's a simple liner lock. It's got wood scales. Nothing special going on here. Yeah. I mean, like, they're... okay, US MSRP. Oh, this is, like, got a European... Interesting that this will be apparently available to the European market, at least parts of it. So the US MSRP is 87. We can ignore that. MAP is $73.95, which is what you'll pay. It's not bad, but it's not like amazing. It doesn't blow me away. It's fine. The best thing about this knife is that Civivi's San Mai is about the best that you're gonna. It is, in fact, Not about. It is absolutely the best that you will get under $100. Everything else on the market that is made like to look a similar way is usually an absolute like liquid garbage joke. People buying, like, for example, Amazon Damascus. You're like, oh, I've seen some Amazon Damascus. I might want to. It's horrid. It's an affront to God. It's terrible. I hate it. This is amazing, though, and it is absolutely the best that you're going to get. The way that the edge is sharpened from the factory, the HRC might not be incredibly special, but the final execution, polishing, all of that, the materials involved with the blade, absolutely, that's going to be, if they can get their HRC a little higher, that's going to be about the best, far and away the best you can get. So now this one, I know this to be a more expensive Civivi because I came across it during one of my retailer tours, and I was like, wow, Civivi's really like moving into this like kind of almost premium territory with their knives. But let's see what they've delivered here. This is the Wellmax, designed by, again, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Message Torbe. I apologize if I didn't pronounce that correctly. So this is in aluminum, polished yellow Ultim inlay, and 14C28N. It's limited to 599 pieces for some reason. So this is a special edition Civivi knife. It's definitely going. It's right away looking very, very much bigger effort. So people get stuck on this thing where, because a brand has, in the past, they've been associated with a certain price point, that because that is the case, anything that they make in the future that is above that price point is not worth it, or it's not an appropriate price tag. That's not how we judge the price tag. We don't say, oh, it's a Kershaw, so it can only cost this much, or oh, it's a oh, it's a Civivi, it can only cost this much. That's not how that works. It depends on what it is. I'm sorry, obviously what it is. It depends on what it is made of, how many additional steps are involved, right? It's not like we can just magic. It's not a video game. We can't beep, beep, boop, boop, and here it is. No. Even if it is, again, a lot of similar materials to the budget territory used in the design, if the effort involved with getting these materials to take this final form requires additional effort, then obviously the price will be higher. So if you get stuck on that idea, oh, it's this brand, it can't be... That's dumb. You have to broaden your perspective on that a little bit, because that's not how the costs work. That being said, let's take a look at this and see if it actually is deserving of the price tag, which is almost certainly going to be pretty high. Is it right here? Let's make sure. Yeah, it's right here. So I've got it. Okay. So Ultim and aluminum, really nice inlay there, and it is, I like the polish and contrast with the flat. I also like that we can see the skeletonization under there. This has a little filler tab there. We've got some anodized screws, so you have the pocket clip that can be flipped over, but what's interesting is that it is not a symmetrical clip, meaning that little angle will be flipped over on the other side. Okay. Pretty wild blade shape. So we do have a different blade shape than what is normally, I guess, what I would normally expect from the budget territory, right? Civivi is typically a budget brand, so most of their knives fall under $75. And here recently, a lot of their stuff has kind of tiptoed into a territory that's like, you're kind of just charging extra because of your name, right? So now we are further beyond, presumably further on, beyond in that territory. This is nice action, though. Really nice sound. Got a little bit of plunge drag is what I have been calling it, which is like on some of these newer knives with plunge locks, you push the button and there's a sweet spot to get it to fall, but if you push too hard, it'll stop it. This does go away, by the way. This was something I started to complain about in the middle of like the button lock like craze. I was like, some of these are dragging. Well, it turns out after a while, the surfaces wear in and it just goes away. But this has a little bit out of the box. But it does feel a little different. The thumb studs look a little bit different. Ergonomically, it's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely gorgeous. Pretty cool. It's not like, oh my God, I'm blown away, but it's obviously a higher effort Civivi. Realistically, I think that this is a knife that could pass for, you know, your 75 to 80. Like, this is a nice $75 to $80 knife. Is it going to be that? Almost certainly not. Almost certainly not. Yeah, it's like way over that. So the the MSRP is $163, which is not realistic at all. But the MAP is $138.98. No. You're not there yet. I know what we're trying to do here. We're trying to prove ourselves as worthy in the $100 to $150 territory. And to be fair, that's a tricky territory. That's really hard to do. But again, Civivi, you have to remember, you got people like me reminding people like my viewers that Kershaw will make a USA-made knife. And these aren't feelings. These aren't like, oh, my feelings. No, it's the U.S. manufacturing costs are substantially higher. Not only that, but Kershaw, maybe it's not as complex as this, but Kershaw is using the same materials, and they're using vastly higher quality blade steel and making it in the United States in the case of the Bel Air or Bel Air XL, and coming in between $150 and $200. You guys are way too close to that territory for this to be justified. This isn't even a $100 knife. Not from China. It's a nice knife, and there's a lot of effort here, and much, you know, all the respect in the world to the designer. But you guys you're off your rockers with the price tag, $138. It's aluminum's nice, sure. Ultim, the inlay's nice, right? Higher effort on the blade, it's cool, right? Maybe if you guys popped in there at about $90, about the highest, you know, that might be like, okay, well, we're getting up there, but it is a higher effort Civivi. Sure. But what did that say? $138. $138 in the MAP, not even the MSRP. That's way too much money. This is cool. It's not a $138 knife. Everything else here is fine. This is okay. My two favorites of the group, these two. This is just nice. The winner for the nicest knife in the bunch was this guy. Price is a little high, but that was my favorite there. Okay. Some cool stuff. You'll definitely get a review on this guy. You won't get one here. You might get one here, and you might get one here. That's probably what you're looking at there. Everything here will eventually be given away, and my giveaways are Friday evenings, usually Friday evenings at 8:30 p.m. CDT right now, Central Standard Time, as we get closer and into winter. That's going to be it today, guys. Links for everything down in the description. Please make sure to no idea where my card's gone. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, there it is. Leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.